Hello, my name is Abigail Arzola Reyes, and we're the Team A. We're going to present to you our interactive learning project, which is analyzing the Trompo Taco Cooks workstation at Tacos El Güero. Eh, my team members are Uriel Duarte, Natalia Moreno, Mildred Hernández, y Steve Nielsen. Yes, this is the Tacos El Güero and our pod. Now, the taquero works in a small, high-heat station centered around a vertical rotating spit located beside an open flame with limited space and that forces close proximity to the equipment. Because the taqueria is on a street corner, the workspace is semi-open and exposed to constant customer interaction and passing traffic. Although few ergonomic studies focus specifically on taqueros, research on similar jobs such as kebab or doner cooks and manual meat cutters shows consistent risks, which are highly repetitive cutting movements, forceful knife use, awkward upper limb postures, heat exposure, prolonged standing, and an increased likelihood of musculoskeletal disorders in the arms, shoulders, and wrists. Now, the taquero's jobs involves repetitive slicing of meat from the retaining trompo, catching the shaved meat with the opposite hand, and maintaining the speed by trimming, cleaning, and replenishing ingredients. Throughout an 8-hour shift, especially during busy evening hours, the worker performs constant unprolonged movements, often cutting every few seconds for extended periods. Even during slower times, the taquero remains standing and active with tasks like assembling tacos and cleaning. Now, the environmental workspace conditions include high heat from the open flame, limited workspace, mixed indoor and street lighting, and significant noise from traffic, customers, and kitchen equipment. Because the workstation is located on a street corner, the taquero is also exposed to outdoor factors such as airflow, dust, and fluctuating temperatures.
Um, as the ergonomic problem, we analyzed the taquero working for a minute while slicing the trompo. We observed repetitive movements, slight trunk flexion, awkward right wrist angles, standing posture, and heat exposure. These factors make the activity potentially risky over time. Um, To evaluate the posture, we used OWAS method, which is Ovaco Working Posture Analysis System. Eh, the worker or the taquero was standing, kept his arms below shoulder height, had a slightly bent back, and handled the less than 10 kilograms. These codes reflect the general postures seen during the test. And as the final result of OWASP was was 1, which this indicates low posture related risk and no immediate need for corrective action. However, the OWASP method only evaluates posture and it doesn't consider repetition, heat, or force. So the task may still have ergonomic concerns.
Our improvement proposal was to make the trompo stable as ergonomic as possible. So we'd have to modify the height to match the cook's chest level and to bring the trompo closer to the body so the arm doesn't have to extend and making a a bit, making a forward tilt, allowing for a more natural cutting posture. Setting the trompo's height to 95 to 110 centimeters could help the worker maintain a natural posture when it's too high. Tilting the trompo 10 to 15 degrees will help the wrist and forearm alignment, and adjusting the trompo's base or distance from the grip keeps the worker's elbow close to the body.
So now we have the type of WMSD. This means the work-related musculoskeletal disorder. These are injuries and conditions affecting the muscles, ligaments, bones, tendons, blood vessels, and nerves. So in this section, we have decided to divide the human body into different sections to more easily to identify the possible diseases. So first we have the shoulder. In this part, he may uh, develop the rotator cuff tendinitis. Shoulder pain is one of the most common physical complaints affecting people of all ages and for a variety of reasons. It is also called impingement, bursitis, or biceps tendinitis. Now we have the wrist and the hand. The first one is the Kervine's disease, also known as tenosynovitis. It is a painful wrist condition where the prosthetic held around the two thumb tendons becomes inflamed, swollen, and thickened. The taquero is in constant work, only having few breaks during his work hours, for not mentioning the rush hours in which all the team members are exposed to a great amount of stress. Due to this, the health of the wrist and the hand are of great importance because it is the main tool of all of the workers. The second one is the carpal tunnel syndrome. As well as the hand and the wrist, the taco vendor makes a great use of his fingers. Since then, he holds the knife and keeps it steady in order to make a uniform cut, so he could develop some injuries mainly in the thumb and the index finger. Now we have the back, which is the chronic mechanical low back pain, LVP. The taco vendor spends his entire workday standing with almost no rest periods spent sitting down, making him very prone to an injury. This injury is persistent pain linked to movement, posture, and activity, often from muscle strain, poor conditioning, or overuse, making it feel worse with movement and better with rest. And now we have the legs and the feet. This one is the plantar fasciitis. It is a common cause of heel pain resulting from inflammation of the plantar fascia, causing sharp pain, especially when getting up and in the morning or after sitting for a while. So, how our proposals will help prevent all of the previous injuries. The proposed ergonomic adjustment for the taco vendor's workstation aim to reduce physical strain and prevent musculoskeletal disorders caused by long hours of standing repetitive movements and awkward postures required when cutting the trompo. Setting the cutting height at the chest level approximately 95 to 110 centimeters will help the worker keep the shoulders relaxed and the arm close to the body. And by positioning the trompo closer to the worker so that the cutting can be performed with the elbow naturally tucked near the body, the spine remains more stable and the risk of developing chronic mechanical low back pain is reduced. This also decreases fatigue and trapezius and deltoid muscles.
To make the cost-benefit analysis, we took into consideration the metal worker labor, 8 hours, which consists of 430 pesos, and the materials such as steel plates, supports, and brackets, which in total is 5,000 pesos. This means that the total investment is 5,430 pesos. With the benefits of reducing injuries, a faster cutting, and less mistakes, the estimated annual benefits consist of injury reduction savings, which we considered has 16,000 pesos, and productivity improvements that are 12,000 pesos, taking into consideration that with these improvements, there would be 156 hours saved per year. These numbers give us a total benefit of 28,000 pesos per year. Now we have a cash flow table of 5 years. First, we will do an investment of 5,430 pesos. And then, since the first year to the fifth, there will be a benefit of 28,000 pesos. Therefore, to analyze the present value, we took into consideration a discount factor of 12%. And we use the formula that is shown in order to calculate the present value of each year, which in total give us a present value of 100,940 pesos. Finally, the net present value is calculated with the following formula: the total present value minus initial investments. This gives us a net present value of 5,510 pesos, which means that the economic improvements are not just beneficial, but also very profitable.
So now concluding our work, throughout the ergonomics course, we gain a deeper understanding of how human well-being and system performance are directly shaped by workspace, task demands, and environmental conditions. Ergonomics has a direct influence on both the health and productivity of a taquero and any worker, no matter what the conditions or the job is about, because the job involves repetitive cutting movements, long hours of standing, and working in high heat. Poorly designed workstations can quickly lead to a chronic musculoskeletal problem. Adjustments such as setting the trompo at chest height, tilting the slightly towards to the worker, and placing it within comfortable reach significantly reduce the strain on the shoulder, wrist, back, and the feet. And that's it. Thank you.
Ya, no es todo.
Y nomás dejar de grabar, pero no sé cómo.
Ya empezó la grabación.